Okay, well, first of all, again, I thought our crowd was awesome. Noon game, rainy, cold, and man, you pull around coming around the curve there, coming to the rock, and you look up there in the top corner, and it's full. It's awesome. So really appreciate our fans, and it's always a special day to do Military Appreciation Day, and so many people being honored and remembered, and just a really special day, and just proud of how our guys played. We're starting to play like I know we can play, and that's the first time all year that we've won the turnover margin back to back. It's amazing how that all goes hand in hand, and it's really truly all about the ball for this team, and I'm really proud of them. We've definitely grown as a team. We're starting to again play our best football. We're stronger. We're a tougher team mentally and physically, and just proud of them, man. Creating a little bit of momentum and a lot of good things in that game. I mean, we won the line of scrimmage. I was really worried about that offense, honestly. They came in here averaging 460 something, and they've averaged 300 yards rushing the last 3 games, and our starters held them to like 112 yards. It's incredible. And they had 100. They only had 265 or 4, but 254. But 142 of that came on the last 2 drives. And it's 42-7. I got to get guys out. You can't afford to lose a guy 42-7. Because you're trying to win a stat game. And so the positive of that is we had some guys go in there that are in the same meetings and are at the same practices, and everybody wants to play. And some of those guys got exposed a little bit, and that'll make us better because I know those kids care. So, everybody says they're ready to play until it's time to play, and so we'll have some guys that I think will grow, from being in the fire a little bit today, and but just again, awesome. +3 in the turnover margin, and just another pick 6. I think that ties the school record. It was an awesome performance. I thought offensively, man, we were strong. Back-to-back weeks, we're starting to kind of hit our stride a little bit, and 200, very balanced. 265 rushing, 205 passing. Really good on 3rd and 4th down. I thought Cade was awesome. He just missed a couple of plays, but he made some big plays with his legs, and he made some great reads and some great throws. And it was fun to see him, continue to just, grow right before our eyes. And I thought our 2 backs were awesome. Shipley reminded everybody that, he still can play football. A lot of people forgot about him, but it doesn't take long to realize he's pretty good. It was awesome to see our backs, and that's kind of what I've envisioned happening this year. Both those guys over 100 yards, rushing and receiving. Dominique came in and continued to be a spark for us at the end there. I thought Keith Adams, you see his toughness when he gets in the game. He just, usually right now he's getting in there when everybody knows you're running, and he still gains yards. He's just a tough, gritty guy. But a good game, man. 4 touchdown passes. I thought Bo was outstanding. Tyler Brown, I mean, 2 of the best plays you probably saw in college football today were by true freshmen, Avion and Tyler Brown. Those were 2 great plays by 2 young guys, but it was good to see him have another great game. Sapp, redshirt freshman, really should have hit Olsen. We had Olsen, true freshman. That was one of Cade's misses. Really good route, and he had the right idea to kind of paint it on his outside shoulder, but he was just a little wide. But he comes right back the next play and makes a great throw to Sapp, and Sapp made an awesome, adjustment on the ball. So fun to see that, and then probably as good a throw as you're ever going to see is that throw to Brenny. That was unbelievable. You see what we see and what we know we've got, and again, just good to have a little bit of momentum and see these guys growing before our eyes. It was great to see. And then special teams, we had a couple of onside kicks that we handled. That was probably the biggest positive there. Defensively, just awesome. 4 sacks, season high, 11 TF. I think they had only given up 8 sacks all year coming into that game. And so we won the line of scrimmage. We talked all week about, you're going to have to stop the run to earn the right to rush the passer. And, we really dialed in, and to hold them to 112 yards. I mean, listen, Coach Goodwin and our defensive staff, those guys have done an awesome job all year long. And you saw a lot of young talent making a lot of plays on both sides of the ball and special teams. Ronan came up with a big hands team play, and Woodaz is just a sophomore. So, and it was great. Kobe McLeod, a redshirt freshman, had a big TFL, and Barrett rolled his ankle Wednesday night, and we thought he was going to be able to go, and he did everything he could Thursday and Friday to try to get himself ready, and just didn't feel stable as he needed to be this morning. And so here comes Woodaz and Kobe, stepping in there and getting the job done. So, man, I'm just proud of our staff and again, all the young talent stepping up for us. It was fun to see. But at the end of the day, again, it comes down to, taking care of the ball and, trying to find a way to win the turnover margin, because usually good things happen for us when we do. So I'm proud of our team and our staff, and really appreciative of our fans. Got one more, so senior day next week, be a special day, and doesn't get any easier. I mean, you got Drake May rolling in here, might be the number 1 pick in the draft. So it doesn't get any easier, that's for sure. But man, we'll enjoy this one tonight, and we've got some recruiting going on and all that, and then we'll reload tomorrow and see if we can have another good week of preparation and find a way to send these seniors out on a positive note, as winners here in the Valley. So injury-wise, I think Sage was the only one that got hurt. We'll see what we're dealing with there tomorrow.
Coach, you went for it on 4th down 6 times, including the fake punt. That's got to be a first for you.
Yeah, the fake punt, we said we were going to call it going into the game, and we just didn't quite execute it just right, but that's okay. I told them, hey, it may not work. Get ready to play defense, and but don't worry about it. We'll be all right no matter what. We're going to be aggressive, and we just didn't quite execute it the way we needed to. But it was kind of weird in that we had some 4th and shorts. But, a couple of them were just field position, where you are. You don't have a lot to gain, but I felt confident about our defense. And and then I felt confident in our plan, and I just thought we were efficient. Cade was in a good rhythm, and our protection was good. I think the longest one was maybe 4th and 7. Is that right? Might have been the longest one we went for. And protection was awesome. And he was able to hold the ball and really let the route develop. Bo did a great job, really, working his route, and that was a big one for us right there. But, we felt like we could win the trenches. We felt like we could run the ball, and we had to get some dirty yards today, and we did it. So that was definitely a difference in the game for us. I think the longest drive, the first drive, Ross was telling me was the longest scoring drive in Clemson history, time of possession. The longest ever is the 10-02 against Alabama in the Natty, but we didn't score in that drive. We took a knee, but so that's kind of wild. I told Garrett, I thought this was the air raid. We score fast, and Wes is over there. No, I like the slow raid. That's what I like. I'm all for it. So it was a great drive, and we got a bunch of guys in the offensive line. Those guys are competing. I thought Mitchell Mays came back and played well for us today. It was good to see him kind of. Sometimes you gotta lose the opportunity, right, to really appreciate it, and it was good to see him respond. I thought he did a good job. Harris and Trent. Got Sadler back today, and we got a couple of those young guys in there too. Got Dietrich in there, got Big Flapjack in there. He got a holding call. But it's fun to see some of those guys get an opportunity today.
Dabo, what can you say about the way your offensive line, a little bit maligned
Yep.
this season, has played the last couple weeks?
It's been great to see, and it just goes to show you, I felt like we had good depth coming into the season. I didn't think we'd lose a couple starters, but that I was hoping we could have just some good depth. But obviously losing Marcus Tate and then Walker Parks really all year was a big loss for us. But the good news is all those guys are back. We're just going to lose Putnam, and the guys are getting a lot of great experience. We really like our group, so. I'm proud of them. They're just gritty. They've just battled. They've accepted the challenge, and that's a great front that we played last week, and then we felt like we could run the ball this week, and those guys, got it done. So I'm really proud of them. Proud of Thomas. I mean, he's had his hands full, with mixing and matching and this and that, but our depth has shown up for us. I mean, they've gotten better these last couple weeks, and it's been good to see. And hopefully we can continue to just find the right combination and just, those guys keep executing and giving us a chance. And then Cade looks like he's settling down. He's had a couple good weeks. I thought this might have been his best game running the ball. He made some huge plays. The third and forever. We stayed aggressive right there and just really was trying to kind of read what the coverage was, and they went to a drop 8 type of a deal, double cloud, and he let the routes develop, he let the air get in the defense, and then he ran, and he gave us I think it was 4th and 1 maybe, and gave us a chance to go for it right there. That was a huge play. He made several of those, and that's what he can do. So I just think that's an area we need him to keep growing in. And I saw him take a step forward today, and we need him to continue to do that.
You mentioned Mays and Sadler. Looked like there was a lot more confidence in the gap stuff y'all were running with the poles.
Yeah. We just, we felt like with their front and how they play that, we'd be able to run some of our counter stuff, whether it be, GT or just, pulling one guy. We did a little bit of both. So we did some good stuff. We didn't have a ton of TFLs. I mean, we had the one sack on a screen. We, probably need to get that ball in the ground right there. I think they got on him quick, kind of looking off, and we had a screen set up. But you want them to rush right there. It's not like we're trying to protect. We want them to rush. So that's one area. And then we had one TFL where I have to look at it on tape, but the end made the tackle on the speed sweep. And I don't know if our timing was off right there, but we'll see if we can clean that up. But we leaned on our zone and just kind of what we do. We did some same side stuff. We did a little bit of pistol and some of the same cross stuff that we've done all year. But at the end of the day, you got to cover people up, and backs got to hit it. I thought both the backs were very patient today, and popped some nice runs for us.
Coach,
Coach, the freshman really stole the show today. 4 interceptions by freshmen, including pick 6 by Lewis in his first start, diving one-handed catches all over the place.
Yeah.
Brown and Zapp touchdowns. How exciting is it to see those guys?
Man, it was awesome. That's why we recruited them, and those guys have been working and preparing, and it's fun to see them, growing their confidence and to be able to go out, and now it just puts wind in everybody's sails. We got a really good group, a lot of guys back on defense. Obviously we're going to lose a few guys, but we got a lot of dudes that are going to be back, especially in that front and that secondary. So I'm super excited. Woodaz, he's just a sophomore. So you saw again, I was proud of Kobe today, stepping up, being prepared, being ready, knowing his assignments, knowing what to do. And then Jamal and D are going to be good players. They just got a little baptism by fire today, and so it's awesome. Those guys took advantage of their opportunity. Khalil Barnes doesn't look like a freshman. I mean, he feels like he's a junior running around out there, but he really is just a freshman, and so it was great. It was great to see him making plays, and again, we don't, even offensively, what's happening is going to be a real positive. I mean, we don't have, nobody even knows who Cole Turner is. And I'm telling you, this guy is a absolute superstar. And Antonio Williams, I mean, we've just forgotten about him. And so we got some guys, Walker Parks, Marcus Tate. We got some real key pieces that aren't out there right now. But, man, Salato's been able to grow a little bit this year as basically a redshirt freshman because he gets a year back. You know, Adam is trending in a good direction. He's playing with a broken hand, but he's playing. He broke his hand last year, the right hand. Now he broke his left hand. Same bone, same hand. So I don't know. But he's able to play. It's not surgical. We just kind of, you know, have to club him during the week. But then during game day, they put like a thing over it. I mean, he's regaining, I'd say, his confidence. Bo has had a great year for us. He's made some big plays. He's having his best year for us. Ronan, even though you're not seeing a lot of production in the stat column, that kid's getting better. You know, I'm really proud of him. Of course, Tyler has been awesome. So, you know, it's good to see Olsen get out there today. Good to see Josh make the big play. We got a lot of good days ahead. A lot of good young talent and more on the way.
Coach, you talked about how the offense is just clicking. The defense definitely has been locking down from allowing 28 and 24 in the 2 road losses. You talk about how big the home crowd was these last 2 weeks, now holding the Irish to 23 and today the Jackets to 21. Just talk about that transition just from those 2 losses to these 2 wins on the defensive side of the ball with Coach Good. Yeah,
our defense has been there all year, honestly. I mean, you know, that's probably one of the bad things, but one of the good things too. You know, I mean, literally our defense has played well enough to be a playoff team. I mean, I've seen enough of defenses around here. That's a good group. They're really good. But we have not done our part offensively in taking care of the ball. You know, we've scored a bunch of points for the other team, and we lead the nation in fumbles. So it's really tough. But the positive is our team has stayed together. Our team has stayed together. Those guys have not pointed fingers. They've continued to battle. They've battled for each other. You know, you win together, you lose together, and that part, that's something that you don't really see until you get in a situation like we've been in this year. Yeah, is it frustrating everybody? Yep. But man, those kids love each other. They really do, and that is special when you get to see that as a coach. It's easy when everything's great. And, you know, everybody's all in when you're, you know, 9-0 or whatever, 10-0, and everything's going great. But when you've had some, especially one side of the ball in particular, and not only one side of the ball, but one particular area, you know, really hurt you multiple times when you got this side, who's really put you in position to win. You know, sometimes if you don't have the right culture, if you don't have the right character, and that can splinter your team. And our kids have stayed together. They've been awesome, our staff, and I'm really proud of that. I mean, the Tyler Davises, the Rooks, Trotter, Carter, them guys have been amazing because they've played their butts off all year. They really have. They've put us in position to, you know, win every single game, and it's good to see them be rewarded a little bit. You know, to see the offense, you know, starting to click and you know, be what we know we can be. And so that stinks, you know, because I know we're a lot better team than what our record says we are right now. We're not. I mean, there's, you know, different types of 6-4 teams, but I'm also thankful that I've had a chance to kind of have affirmed, you know, who our people are and what they're all about. And inside our locker room, we got a bunch of good people, a bunch of good people on staff, and certainly in that locker room, and I am proud of that.
Coach, last week Cade told us he was talking about his performance, and he said, you know, I didn't do anything crazy, I didn't do anything spectacular, but we did our jobs. Well, this week he threw for over 200 yards and found 4 different guys as he threw for those touchdowns. What did you like from his performance today?
Yeah, I thought he just did a good job playing one play at a time. You know, he just really was consistent with that. You know, he, as I said, made some plays with his legs that were huge for us in conversions, but also putting us in like the 4th and 1. He took care of the ball. I know we had the one pick because, Chapel, we're going to get a pick a game, of course. And he just really didn't make the right throw. I mean, it was a good read, and it really Brenny might have been a little flat. He probably should have been a little higher on his angle, but there was still an area. I thought he could have thrown the ball in the grass a little bit more or put it high and outside where the big 6'5" guy could go get it. So he was a little flat and a little behind, and that kid made a great play. But I just thought he took care of the ball, did a nice job, made good decisions. Just kind of had good poise, and just never really got too high or too low. I just think he's growing in that area. So it was a really good game for him, and it was what was needed today. Last week was every game week to week's different type of challenges, and but that's what we needed today. And man, he answered, and you know what, the guys made plays for him, and it's just when your confidence starts to build and you see a guy make a play, it's amazing how it's contagious, right? That play Bo made was awesome. And, that's kind of a read for Cade. And he took it, and then the play to 6. That little guy, man, what a play. And next thing you know, man, it just kind of feeds that enthusiasm. Players make plays. And I thought Cade put the ball in position where his guys could make plays. And then those guys made plays. He's the one that should have made a play on the throwback. It was a terrible throw by Maffa. Wide open. It's probably going to walk in. Terrible throw, but the receiver's supposed to make the quarterback right. And if you touch it, you catch it. And he got 2 hands on that ball. It was a terrible throw, so it was a drop on number 2 on the throwback. Dang it. We had it.
Coach,
It seems like Tyler gives your quick screen games some juice that it haven't maybe had in a while. I guess plus the blocking as well and just the timing of it.
Yeah, I mean, without Antonio, Antonio's had a lot of big plays for us in the screen game for sure. But, that's the type of guys they are, especially in the slot. But, yeah, he's a powerful runner. He's a strong, I'm not saying he's Jacoby, but he brings that Jacoby presence. You guys that have been around here remember Jacoby in that number 6 that he wears. He's compact, but he's really strong, and he's an explosive. When he goes, he goes. But he plays bigger than he is. So runs behind his pads well. He's got good vision. He's a weapon for us, definitely.
Coach, on that block field goal.
One of these days, we're going to have him and Antonio for maybe more than a game. That's going to be a great day. One of these days.
Yeah, the block field goal was 47 yards. Did Whites just keep that a little low, trying to get distance?
The timeout got us,
Dave Doran did the same thing.
Yeah, they got us, man. Dadgummit, Brent Key. And he made it. But, yeah, he just missed it. He just chunked it, the second one, kind of like Larry chunks his sandwich every now and then, He just chunked it. He just didn't quite get under it. Or he just kind of got on. I think it looked like his foot kind of got stuck, is what he said. But he hit the first one great and just chunked it. But that's well within his range. He can make that.
I was looking willing to confuse King out there. He looked like there's a lot of times he didn't recognize what y'all were doing.
You have to ask him that. I mean, we just, lined up, tried to communicate, make sure we had all the gaps covered. We did a nice job with our coverage, but I think the biggest thing is we just were creating a new line of scrimmage. We were creating movement, and he just wasn't able to get comfortable. That's probably the biggest thing.
Coach, looking forward, you have a top 25 matchup coming up in UNC. What are some keys to being prepared for that game?
Just have a great Monday. We got to study this tape and, make the corrections and learn from it. And then, great Monday, great Tuesday, great Wednesday. Just, do what we do. Got to have a great week. Everybody's got to be focused on the task at hand. You got to execute well. I mean, you got to be really detailed in your work. This will be a huge challenge, from an offense that can put up a bunch of yards in a hurry. Really skilled outside. Got one of the best receivers in the country. I got a lot of respect for Drake May. I think he is, I'll be glad when he's gone. I'm going to declare him for himself. I'm going to go ahead and declare him. He's a great one, you know, and they're well coordinated. They got a lot of good players, and so we just gotta, you know, we gotta hopefully maybe get a guy or two back. We'll see. Just continue to again build on what we've done. Got some good momentum, but it all goes back to preparation. I mean, it's just that simple. We got to have a great week, one day at a time, and everybody's got to stay focused and committed to, you know, the task at hand.
Coach, who is your backup quarterback, not to, you know, run out a game where you're way ahead, if you have to win a game at the end?
It'd be Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd put Hunter in there, and for sure he'd be the first guy in there. You know, if I was glad we were able to get CV in there today. We were trying to redshirt him. I think he's got maybe one more game, maybe. We'll talk about that. He's got one more. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We always kind of review that stuff, and so he's got one more, and you know, we feel good about, you know, our future at that position. But yeah, Hunter would be the guy.
That scramble by Hunter, is that something that you see from him in practice?
Yeah. Hunter's got some moxie, man. Maybe the best play he had was the throwaway. You know, just he held it forever and finally threw it away. But yeah, he's like having a coach. He and Paul Tyson's the same way. You know, they're Paul. I trust Paul. Paul could go in there and execute and be functional, very functional for us. But both those guys are like, you know, staff members. They're almost like coach players. They really are. They just great presence. Hunter has a great demeanor and a great presence on the sideline. Like, he's always coaching. He plays every play, and he's always coaching Cade. You know, he sees things, and he's a good player. He's a good player. He's one of the better. I guarantee you, he's one of the better backups in the country as far as a kid that could really go and execute what you need him to do. And so we got a lot of confidence in him, and thankful we got him, and know he'll be ready if we needed him.
Did Shipley take another blow to the head today?
Well, yeah, he did, but I think it kind of bent his neck. He was fine. He was just mad. You know, I think he was trying to riff as well, but they didn't buy it.
Do you anticipate he and Moffitt, now that he's back, he and Moffitt kind of splitting carries going forward?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you saw today is what we've envisioned all year, you know, but we just stayed in a lot of rhythm today, you know, a lot of conversions, you know, got plays, and just really, really good to see. So it's what we've envisioned all year from those guys. But again, both of them made some plays in the passing game and some big runs. They're a pretty good little tag team. That was pretty cool. I had a cool moment on the field because I had CJ and JD and had them kind of all right there, and I was like, man, now this, I feel like I'm, you know, reliving 2006 all over again. It was awesome to see that. It was a lot of fun, and it was good to get Ship back. And I knew he was going to do something great today because he'd been mad all week. You know, again, people I think forgot about him. So he's been fired up to go play, and it was great.
Lucas hurt?
Yep. Yeah, he's still been battling his hip. Just hadn't been able to. He tried to practice this week and was going to try to go. Just couldn't quite do it.
Coach, I have to ask, it was a beautiful delivery of the national anthem by Huckabee. How long have you been playing in that?
Man, that's what I heard. I had actually, honestly, I forgot about it. I know we planned it at the beginning of the year, but I completely forgot about it until Tim told me after the game. I totally forgot. And then I forgot in the locker room, too. I was going to make him sing in the locker room. Forgot that. We were having a ball in there, but yeah, it's really neat. I can't wait to hopefully see it. But I heard he did a great job, and heard the fans we kind of got everybody juiced up and ready to go. So I love old Huckabee, man. He's a great kid.
Wiggins, another game not starting. Is that another accountability?
Yeah, he's still, you know, he's got to get positive. You know, he just run out there second or third play, but you got, you know, that's just he got. I think he got a point or two last week, but he's still, I think, -1. So he's got more work to do.
Is that a little surprising or frustrating to see from a veteran who's been on the team for a few years?
No, it's just, you know, he missed a tutor, show up to tutors, show up on time, be all right. So he cares. He cares. I mean, we're not, kicking him off the team or anything because he missed a couple you tutors. But we are going to hold him accountable. And, if you're going to be a starter for this team, you got to be accountable. And so he'll get it done. He's got another week. We'll see if he starts next week. We'll run him out there first if he's even. He don't even have to be plus. He can just be even. So he needs to go get a point or two somehow, some way.
How about Pride? Is he healthy?
Yeah, he played special teams. But Mike went with Shelton and Nate and Avion, and those guys just played well. I mean, Toriano was ready to go, and I know we played special teams, but and I think we got Miles Oliver in there a little bit down at the end, just a kid that's trying to redshirt this year, basically get his year back. So he got in there for a few snaps.
Any questions for Coach from Zoom? Anybody else in the room? Coach, his final thoughts, playing a rival on a big day like Military Day. You talked about the 06 game with CJ and JD. 9 straight, 12 of the last 14 since the loss down in Tampa in the 09 championship. Just shows how Clemson kind of controlled the rivalry in recent years. Just speaks volumes about the teams that you've had under your tenure.
Yeah, we've had some good ones for sure. And but I'm gonna tell you, man, Brent Key's doing a heck of a job. I'm telling you, he's got those kids playing tough. He's gonna be a good one. He's got his team. He's an old Birmingham guy. Played at Hewitt Trustful for Jack Wood, one of the legendary coaches in high school, and he's been around a bunch of great coaches, but. He's I think he's gonna be very successful there. So it ain't gonna get any easier to play those guys. I don't even think we play them for a while unless we both got to the championship game or something. That might be a good thing because I think he's gonna do a heck of a job. I really do. I think he's gonna bring structure and toughness. You see those kids playing with a lot of belief. He's put a good staff together. So I would say Georgia Tech is a program that's on the rise.
I think you said you're hoping to get a couple guys back. Is Sheridan one of those guys? You think?
I mean, Sheridan, JP, we'll see where they are. I don't know, but we'll see.
How good was it to have Maskell back today?
Hopefully Barrett. Be nice to get him back. Say that again.
How good was it to have Justin Maskell back? He had a
Yeah, it was awesome. So at 4 sacks today, and again, they give up 8 all year. So great for him after being out a couple games. It's awesome. He's from Atlanta, so good to see him have a big play. I think Jeremiah had another sack. How about Capehart? Man, is he coming into his own? That's a big old monster right there. Great play. Woodaz had a sack. Yeah, it was great to see that.
Chapel wanted me to ask you about no fumbles today.
La 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 la. Can't hear you.
Coach, I know you didn't really get to see a lot of the military ceremonies today, but what did you think about the meaning behind it and the effect that it had on the crowd today?
Listen, I've been here, it's my 21st season here, so it is special. I mean, it's a Memorial Stadium. You got the Scroll of Honor above the hill there, and this was a military school for a long time, and so there's a deep, it's not a check the box thing here at Clemson. I mean, there's a deep heritage here, and just it means a lot. I think we're third maybe in lost students lost at war, that have sacrificed at war. Us, Army, and Texas A&M, I think. And so, it runs deep here. It means a lot to a lot of people. We have a lot of military families within our program. That's one of the things I always do, stand up if you've got family in the military. My brother, my cousin, my uncle, my parents, my granddad, whatever. My granddad was in World War II. Cass' granddad, who lived to be 100, Grandpa Bud, was in World War II. And so, we are all so blessed, and we really are. And, we get a chance to be in a room like this where, we've got you just feel safe, right? And, you know, there's a lot of bad stuff going on in this world. And there's somebody in a submarine deep under the water right now that's doing a job so that we can show up and do what we do. There's somebody on an aircraft carrier. There's somebody flying a plane right now. There's somebody stationed in some far-off place. And there's just a ton of sacrifice because they have families, you know, and there's a ton of sacrifice. And, you know, we just have a great appreciation for that. And Clemson in particular, it's awesome to see all the people that they bring out. And it's, you know, a lot of times I don't really know what's going on, but this particular game, I always try to pay attention. And so does our team. You know, and I know they brought TJ's parents out there, you know, his dad, but it's a special day. It really is. And I'm thankful to be a part of it. I know they always do a great job at halftime. Did they have anybody fly over today? Was there like some choppers or something? So was that what it was? I know this. We got on the bus. The guys on our bus, that first bus, they were going crazy because whatever that thing was in front of us was a bad mamma jamma. It was some kind of Jeep with some torpedoes on it that would do a lot of damage. And I mean, our players and they were spinning it around, and it was really cool. That was cool. So just a great day, you know, and fun, always fun to be a part of it. And, you know, I told the player we dress up, you know, in the camo as a way and kind of wear the colors to, you know, show our appreciation of all the servicemen and women. And we wear purple to you know, in honor of them as well. But as I told the players, y'all show your appreciation by how you play. You know, let's put on a show for them. Yeah, they're here for a show. Let's put one on. Let's don't let it just be about the halftime show. Let's don't let it just be about the flyover and Huckabee. I didn't tell them this, but I'm saying it now. Huckabee singing the national anthem, right? It is about how you play on the field. And hopefully we can play in a way today that somebody far away, somebody that's probably in the middle of the night watching the Tigers play, that's in the military, man, maybe they had a little bit of joy and a little bit of relief from whatever they're dealing with, like real life issues and challenges. So hopefully we were able to do that today.